Hello, best friend, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having the most fabulous day. If this is the first time that you're watching my channel, my name is Sebastian, and I welcome you all with open arms. I do pop culture videos every single day, so if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. So why don't you grab a snack and a drink, hit that subscribe button, best friend. We are currently on our way to 76K, best friend. I would just be so grateful if you joined along. Bitch, if you see a nipple coming out, girl, let me know, bitch, okay? Because I could not with the body dysmorphia today. Listen, we got to talk about Miss Britney Spears and her older brother, Brian, because there's a lot of change happening in the Spears household, best friend. So listen, let's just jump into it. Ever since Britney regained her much deserved and should have never been taken away from her freedom, there's been a lot of talk about Britney. You know, I would actually even say more than ever. I think that Britney Spears has Britney Spears's Instagram and her videos have caused a lot of people to have a lot of comments. I do believe in my heart that Britney is somewhat of a very, not somewhat, she's a very strong person, because the way that the people, the haters, the media, the press, everyone, you know, that doesn't like her, the way that they tear her down, even in moments where we should be a little, you know, not a little, but a lot more compassionate and understanding. She's very strong to take all of this. But I also do believe that she's had a lot of bad people around her who definitely have wanted to make problems for her, take advantage of her, and create a unsafe and negative environment around her. Now, this is my opinion, okay? I obviously do not know the truth, and, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But the characters that have come in and out of Britney Spears' life, you know, just recently her ex-boyfriend, who's a, you know, convicted felon and who allegedly has all these kids and doesn't pay child support. I don't know. I'm not looking into him, but of course, all alleged. There's nothing wrong with, you know, getting out of jail or being, you know, an ex-felon. Like, I feel like if you did your time and you want to get back into society and be a good person, there's nothing wrong with that. And if that's your boyfriend, who the fuck cares? You know what I mean? You did the crime, you paid the crime, and you're out. You know what I mean? And you hopefully you left with a better understanding, you know, a different mindset, and, you know, taking accountability, right? That's all we can ask people in nowadays when they're human, is to just take accountability. So a lot of people had an issue with him, you know, have been a felon and stuff. And I was just like, well, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't judge people, but he just seemed, a lot of stories came out of him and seemed to be so incredibly shady and just, in my opinion, dangerous to have around. So for me to see Britney with him and paparazzi constantly finding her, and her, you know, herself saying on Instagram that she basically felt like it was a setup when the paparazzi would find her, I really did think that, you know, this guy is dangerous to have around her. I was very happy to hear that they broke up. I was very happy to hear that they no longer have communication. And I was very happy to see her with her brother, Brian, and hearing the news that her and her children are back together. Now, for me, that is what's most important. I think that a mother's, you know, love for her children, like especially Britney, right? You know, since we're talking about her, the way that Britney Spears loves these kids, the way that Britney Spears has expressed multiple times throughout her whole life, how much she loves her children, it is something insane, you know, and it's something, you know, that I believe that was her driving force to just survive the conservatorship, was her children. So for me, best friend, seeing her separated from her children and seeing these children, in my opinion, so brainwashed by Kevin and by everyone around them, that's my opinion. I see them so brainwashed. You know, people are calling them children and stuff. They are both, one is 18, one is, almost 18. They're no longer children, okay? So stop calling them little kids, because they're not. They know what's right. They know from what's right and what's wrong. And they have been in the wrong for some time, abandoning their mother like that just because she dances and wears skimpy clothes on Instagram. That is no fucking reason to abandon your mother, in my opinion. But okay, girl, I don't judge. But anyways, so hearing that they're back together, hearing that they have more communication, hearing all of that makes me so happy, because I know that makes Britney happy. And even though I think that they have handled the situation so poorly, I also have an understanding that they were kids throughout all of this, and that they, basically just unfortunately, were brainwashed by all of these horrible people that wanted to do Britney harm. Well, anyways, that's no longer. Her brother Brian is cleaning house, best friend. Her brother has stepped up and he wants every single person out. It says here that he wants to see her inner circle totally wiped clean, okay? He says, it says he convinced her that her ex is not a good guy, especially if she wants to see her children more. She's desperate to see more of her boys, and ultimately that was the biggest reason she was willing to end things with Paul, okay? It says that Brian is raising hell over the fact that this guy was allowed to work for her when he was already a felon. Brian wants a whole lot of changes, everyone from her assistants, drivers, helpers in the house, and even her financial advisor. So far, it says Britney is on board, but the article does say that the scary thing is that she can be very unpredictable and vulnerable to manipulation. So it's key that Paul and the other bad influences are not allowed any contact with her. Getting out of a 13-year conservatorship, her whole 30s were taken away from her. She is basically relearning how to be independent and on her own. So yes, she needs full support. She needs people who want the best for her, people who want her to succeed in life, people who bring in good energy, basically the opposite of what she had to live with throughout this conservatorship. So I'm so happy about it. Now, my only thing is I hope Brian has pure intentions. I, for a very long time was very much against every single family member of Britney's, but, if Britney chose to have him around, I have to pray that she knows what she's doing. And I pray that he offers her authentic, beautiful support that is guided to get the best of her life in order, like something just to be the very best for her. So that is what I think, best friend. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think about Brian basically taking, charge of it? I hope that, I hope it doesn't turn into him controlling things. But I do think that sometimes, I think sometimes we forget that for so long, Britney had very bad people around her, controlling her life and wanting the worst for her. So I feel like, she's used to that. And I just really want her to know that she is worthy of a good circle of friends, of people surrounding her, her team, that they can guide her, uplift her, and, just want the very best for her and have good hearts around her. That's all that I could pray for. So I hope Brian and Britney and her children are in a good place. I hope Kevin is, on Craigslist trying to find a job. And I hope that, Britney gets a beautiful, beautiful future that she very much well deserves. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I am so thankful, so grateful, and just so incredibly humbled by all of your love. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Have a beautiful day, best friend. Mwah.